Why do you need a divorce attorney? Because you don't know what you don't know. And a lot of this stuff sounds like one thing, but actually does another. You are not going to be able to navigate this for the first time yourself. Trying to go through a divorce without a lawyer is like trying to land a helicopter without a pilot. You're not going to be able to get that done. It actually takes you longer to become a divorce lawyer than it does to actually become a airplane pilot. You don't even want a young attorney. You can have a young attorney working on a case, but they need to be at the direction of a very experienced attorney that knows from experience the things that sound like they're going to do one thing and do that, but also that the things that don't do that. There are plenty of things that you think are going to go one way, but actually result in something else. There's also things that you're not going to recognize are really good deals or things that you want because you don't even know that they exist. Things like pickups are almost always better than drop-offs because that minimizes the amount of time that the child is in the less safe car than it is the more safe house or things like that. Property division-wise, you're not going to be able to maximize the amount that you keep in your pocket as opposed to the government taking. Time after time, looked at people's divorce that think they saved a few $1,000s by not hiring an attorney, and then I look at what they actually did, and they actually wind up costing themselves a ton of money because they made a mistake that they weren't even aware of. A lot of people, who do it themselves, they don't want me to look at their stuff because I will find the errors and things that they did wrong and badly. Even a small little thing, like for example, if you release the pin in a grenade, it's a giant explosion. So little things like that in your divorce that you're not going to know to put in, that we will put in, that save you from an explosion happening later is critical. Cost-wise, we're almost always less expensive than a realtor. I mean, if you got $1 million estate or $1 million house, you're going to spend 3% to 2 realtors and maybe 2% closing costs. You're going to pay like $80,000 worth of cost to sell $1 million house. Our average case size is under $20,000. So if we're dealing with $1 million for your house, we're dealing with the difference between you paying child support and receiving child support over the course of a child's life is about $500,000. If we're dealing with another $1 million worth of assets, we're dealing with a $2.5 million problem. 3% of $2.5 million, it's like $75,000. The one difference though is that you have to pay an attorney up front. So you're not going to actually have an ultimate value problem. You're going to have a cash flow problem, where a realtor hides their fee in the back end, so you don't really see it. You just get money back at the end. An attorney is the most important professional that you're going to have, much more important than a realtor. If you wouldn't sell your house, if you wouldn't try and build your own car from the ground up, if you wouldn't try and fly your own airplane without having an airplane license, then please don't try and do your own divorce. Imagine if you had come into my office and I was a doctor, and you had a liquid, and you go, "Hey doc, I just drank this. Is it poison?" And I look at it and go, "Yeah. Jennifer, you're gonna need to clear operating room 2. We're gonna have to go in for emergency surgery. I can pump your stomach, cancel my plans for the afternoon too, and by the way, you're not gonna like it." That'll be $60,000. As opposed to you come into my office and you go, "Hey doc, I wanna drink this. Is it poison?" And I go, "Yes, that's poison. Don't drink it. $297 for the office visit, and I guess I can go and do my competition later and go watch my kids play basketball. Like, my afternoon's so much better. It's so much less expensive to prevent a mistake than it is to fix one. And a lot of people are afraid, if I'm going to go and hire an attorney, then they're going to increase the fighting, and it's going to be worse, and it's just going to be nothing but fighting, and my spouse is going to get mad, and then we're going to go to World War III. No, if you hire the right attorney, then that attorney is going to end the fighting, not increase it. And they're going to declare peace and negotiate the terms of the peace and probably get both of you better results than you could even get if you went into court or especially try to do it on your own. And even if you think you have an agreement, you don't know what you don't know. Please don't do this by yourself. Please hire an attorney. Just hire one that wants to focus on getting you through the process in the healthiest way possible. You're going to be better off. It's going to be worth the money. The divorce lawyer that you choose is critically important. So how do you choose the right one? Look at why they do what they do. If they're sitting there and they're doing like the hammer and we got our boxing gloves on, we're ready to fight, then they're like a hammer. If you've only got a hammer, then every problem is a nail. And sometimes you need a screwdriver. Sometimes you need custom woodwork. Sometimes you need custom metalwork. I'd rather somebody that has the full array of tools, but you look at why they use those tools. Why we use our tools is that we want our clients and their children, and even their ex, if possible, and it's possible a lot, to get through the divorce process in the healthiest way possible. We focus on what's healthy, not the negative stuff. We're not going to feed into your fears. We're not going to feed into all the negativity. What we are focusing on is what's healthy and how do we keep our eye on the ball, which is we get you from where you are now to where it is that you want to be in the healthiest way possible so that you can begin your life in the healthiest way that you can, begin the next chapter in your life in the healthiest way, and live the rest of your life in the healthiest way. Find why someone does what they do and hire them for that. What should you expect from your attorney? Communication is the number one thing that clients complain about attorneys for. At our firm, we strive to give as much access as possible. In our case management system, we even have we upload our phone calls. Our system records all of our phone calls. We upload the phone calls. The clients can listen to the phone calls and things that they've had with us. They can read the transcript from the phone call. They can see all of our attorney's notes, and that's available to them 24/7. When we are editing their documents, every different edit, they can see every single one. They can watch all of our work. We do that so that you can see what we're doing. The reason why is because I've been a client of an attorney, of attorneys. I have to hire them for business things, a variety of different things. And I'm always a nervous wreck. I sit on this side of the table really well, but I don't do the client side of the table. I feel out of control. I don't like it. It's not fun. So I understand what the clients are going through. And so what I have done is designed our firm to deliver, when I'm going to be that person, what would I want being the client? What would I want to know and see? And we provide that as our normal processes. Don't call up an attorney and go, hey, can you record our calls and upload, and try and change their systems to what we do? Because it takes a lot in order to do what it is that we do and how we do it and to give that access. But you want communication, you want clarity, and you also want them to help guide you. And you want somebody that's not going to guide you into the negativity that you're carrying. You want somebody that can protect you and basically be a hedge of protection around you. And you should ask them, hey, if I need to schedule a meeting with you or talk with you, how do I do that? And, can I communicate with you? Email? And what happens if I don't get an email? Did I get an email response within a week, within an hour, within days, within a month? What should it be? And then if I don't get a response to the email, can I call you? Do y'all answer your phones? When do you answer your phone? Am I going to get an answering service or am I going to get an actual staff member? We're going to answer your call and we're going to deal with that immediately. But normal procedures are you call up and we will schedule a time for you to call us. And then when we have the call scheduled, then we have the call and then we have a talk and we're prepared for the call and you're prepared for the call. Works a lot better, much higher level of client satisfaction. My customer service standards are like Gordon Ramsay level of food cooking. I hire people that have restaurant experience in their backgrounds so that they know how to treat customers and clients. Those are the type of things that you want to find from your lawyer in any case. How do you prepare for your first consult? So for an initial consultation, essentially, I'm going to be trusting and taking your word on, and what I want to hear is your side of the story. Because in a consultation, what we do, it's completely confidential and we go through a 3-step process. The first step is we're going to talk about what your situation is and what led you to have to speak with us. The second step is we talk about what your goals are and what you'd like to achieve. And then the third step is we talk about what we can do to help you get from where you are now to where it is that you want to be. So it's essentially your story that I want to hear. And I'm going to ask you facts and things that you're going to know. It's like, so what do you do for a living? What's your job? Do you own your own house? Tell me about who takes care of the children when. I'm going to be able in an initial consultation to take your word on things. And sometimes people that are very well prepared for an initial consultation is good. It tends to be sometimes people are a little bit too reliant on what's been prepared. For an initial consultation, I do not review anything ahead of time. I need to hear your story. And in listening to your story, we're going to be asking you questions throughout your case multiple times. And it's important that our clients know ahead of time that we're not doing that because we don't know. We're also doing that to make sure your story stays consistent, or sometimes we'll get a little bit more or a different perspective on how you told the story the second time to where we're getting clarity. But for you, for an initial consultation, you just need to show up and be calm and be honest. Make sure you tell the truth. The number one way to prepare for that is just to prepare to tell the truth and tell us what's really going on. So that way we can get you from where you are now to where it is that you want to be.